In what is a typical spring scene across most of the Midwest, it's planting time in central North Dakota. What isn't so typical is the person behind the wheel. He isn't the farm owner or renter, and he isn't the hired help. He is one of many volunteers who travel farm to farm helping growers in need get their crops in the ground.
I retired, farmed all my life, so I thought this would be just a great opportunity for me to help somebody else.
Retired farmer Gene Spichke works with a nonprofit organization called Farm Rescue. The program is designed to offer one-time help to farmers who have been temporarily sidelined by natural disasters such as a tornado or health issues such as a surgery or accident. The idea for an all-volunteer traveling planting crew came from Bill Gross, a full-time pilot for UPS who lives in Seattle. But his roots are in North Dakota agriculture.
Well, I was raised on a family farm, and over the years I've seen how there's fewer family farms across the countryside, and of the family farms that remain, they're a smaller size. There's less children, and it's just harder when a crisis happens for a family, for neighbors to come and help each other.
I'm sure probably eventually someone would have helped me, but then my crop would have been later and this and that.
While neighbors may sincerely want to help, it's been a relief to those injured that they now don't have to ask.
Farm rescues, it's a great idea. I'm glad they're doing it. And I think neighbors are relieved too that, to have help and then they don't have to worry about it. It's just great for the whole community.
Blair Olafson and Scott Ratius were both injured in separate snowmobile accidents. They were just 2 of 14 farmers in North Dakota and surrounding states to receive help from Farm Rescue in 2007. In 2006, 10 farmers were helped. The farmers must pay for their seed and fertilizer. Farm Rescue covers the rest, including fuel. The cost to cover this migratory planting operation comes from private donations and business sponsors. Business donations range from free web design and maintenance to grant money from a financial institution's foundation to promotional signage on vehicles.
My father-in-law was one of the persons last year that did receive help. We wanted to help out Bill any way we could, and I guess with the signage, we just decided he needed help on getting his story out.
All donations help, but Bill Gross says for 2 years now, one of the most crucial and generous donations has come from RDO Equipment Company, headquartered in Fargo. The company donated the use of a John Deere tractor and a 43-foot no-till planter.
The value of the equipment that RDO Equipment Company provides to Farm Rescue for 2007 is approximately $450,000. They also include maintenance and transportation of the equipment.
Running shifts both day and night, the large equipment allowed volunteers to plant an average of 500 acres per day. All totaled, Gross says his 2007 budget was $100,000, double that of 2006. The major expenses were fuel, liability insurance, and marketing. Gross emphasizes that all the money goes to operating expenses and includes no salaries.
No one receives any money off of Farm Rescue, nor do we distribute any money to farmers. So I want to make that clear that Farm Rescue is not a financial rescue. We're not out to help farmers that are on the verge of bankruptcy, to carry them another year.
To determine a qualified family farmer, a lengthy application process includes disclosure of financial statements and debts. Farm Rescue also limits its help to farmers with no more than 3,000 acres. And the applicant must have operated his or her own farm for at least 3 years. Meeting all the criteria has meant a crop in the ground for 24 farmers over the last 2 years. To one of last year's Farm Rescue recipients, Lowell Hartvickson, who lost an arm in a 2005 baler accident, the planting help meant not having to lease out his land. He had time to recover from his injury and said by last fall he was able to help with harvest.
But as far as operating the machines, I have no problem with that. I can push the levels and run the ground speed and check for, cleanness of the grain and whatever. So I did do our harvest last year for the most part.
Hartvigsson and his wife also received help with harvest from neighbors. But starting last fall, Farm Rescue offered assistance with harvest. These are services the founder and president of Farm Rescue would also like to expand to other states.
I would like to clarify one thing about Farm Rescue operating in other states, that we would not take any funding from one state to use in another state. Each state that Farm Rescue would expand to would need to support itself.
Expansion may seem a lofty goal for a program that's just 2 years old.
Potato and macaroni. Potato.
But if enthusiasm from the farmers, volunteers, and sponsors continues, growth, no doubt, will occur.
When they come, they mean business and they do their work, and really nice professional people, you know.
When we signed up, Bill said, could we work for a couple of weeks? And my neighbor and I said, yeah, it would be good for 2 weeks. Well, I think we're going to stick with it to the end. We're having a good time, and we meet some great folks and new country, so we got the time, we're going to do it.
For Market to Market, I'm Nancy Crowfoot.